इंडियन फिल्म्स में एडेप्टेशन हमेशा से होती रही है, लेकिन आई थिंक मॉडर्न टाइम में, मॉडर्न इंडियन सिनेमा में, एटलीस्ट व्हेन आई थिंक ऑफ एडेप्टेशन एंड बीइंग अ लिटरेचर स्टूडेंट, I think of Vishal Bharadwaj because some of my most favorite plays, Othello is my personal favorite. I have always loved it. मेरा favorite dialogue है, I think, if it were to die now, it were now to be most happy. It's something that I've always loved, I think. Whenever I think of love, I think of that line. So let's talk to Vishal sir about this latest, because Christie is also another one of my favorite when it comes to detective stories. But I have to confess that I read this once this was announced. मैंने वो particular novel नहीं पढ़ी थी पहले, and then I realized it's also not one of the most publicized one जब Christie के बारे में. So how did you pick up this?
I didn't decide about the book. The book decided about me. Right. So during the pandemic, I thought that life is going to be just now forever and ever will be confined inside a room or a house or to locality or mohalla. And what will we do? How will we make films? So then at that time I thought of Christie, and of course I've always wanted to work in this genre of whodunit. It's such a lovely genre in that, in order to explore a killer, or to find a killer, not explore a killer, to find a killer, you explore the so many characters and the complications inside them and their characteristics. So I thought this is the time to now make a whodunit, and I contacted Agatha Christie Limited, and they happened to watch my work. They had seen my films. So they offered me 2-3 books which were available, because all her work has been either optioned or by big filmmakers, Kenneth Branagh, or by 20th Century Fox or BBC. So only these 2-3 books which they offered me were available, and I don't think that it's a very famous book, for the reason is that there are some problems with the book, but the plot is so good, and the modus operandi of the killer is so good that I couldn't guess till the end that how did this person kill, or who's the person who killed, and how did he kill, how is it possible, and there is a supernatural element in the book. Then I started working on it, because I wanted to change the motivation, I wanted to change the lots of things, and I wanted to make it my own. Wanted to root it in my own culture, within my own people, and that's the fun I had in that.
And you've had that sort of fun, even like I mentioned Ukara, because it's one of my favorites, that nobody I think would have thought ki, okay, this is happening in a 14th century, and then suddenly it's UP. Of all things, I don't think I would have thought UP. And now it's Charlie Chopra, so Punjabi, like I've watched that episode, and the way she's talking. And also, why did Himachal happen? Like, you've now brought England and shifted it now to Himachal. So what was behind that location change, really?
Location change, I mean, because it had to be adapted and rooted into India.
Right.
And snow is a character in the film.
Right.
So I needed snow and snowfall. So I mean, actually, the earlier, there's a story behind it. Good question. There's a story behind it. I forgot. For a very long time, the film was called The Mystery Charlie Chopra. It was not even Charlie Chopra. It was some other name of the detective. I had the name called Imli, and then I had some other name. Imli, then I came to know, is with Anurag Basu. That title, and there's some TV serial also. So I called Anurag. Anurag is my friend. So I called him out of the blue and said, I want this title Imli. So at that time he couldn't say no to me. He said, okay, yeah, you take this title, no problem, sir. And next morning he sent me a message that I can't give you this title. So then there was some other title also, I am forgetting the name. What was the other title? That title again came out to be that there is a TV serial on that title. So, and it was called Imli and the Mystery of Joshimath. So the film was placed in actually Joshimath and Auli.
Okay.
So, and then before we were to start shoot, like 3 months before, what happened in Joshimath, the
Right.
roads cracked, and so I had to shift my location from Joshimath to. That's how it became the mystery of Solang Valley, because I needed snow.
Right.
And snow, I either I could get in Kashmir. Kashmir I didn't want to because I had met Hyder. And Kashmir, if you are placing something in Kashmir, you have to have a political relevancy, because you can't ignore what happens in Kashmir and what is happening, what has been happening in Kashmir. That's why Manali was the safest place. And ironically, what happened in Manali now, the
Right.
floods came. Yeah, but that's why I choose Manali. So long answer to a very short question.
And also the central character being Punjabi and very typical, like what you would see as Punjabi. But I think its representation itself in like a lot of films and all that, when we say Punjabi, it's fun, it's a lot of everything, but brain and detective sleuthing is not probably the first thing that I would associate, because that's how I would probably have been watching. So was there a thought put behind, okay, I'm going to make this character a quintessential Punjabi who's obviously saying all of those things that we're hearing, and she has that expression as well, where she's giving galis and boisterous. You have that element, but she's also sleuthing, and this music itself, I loved it. It's just what she says is basically the background score. I think that was like brilliant. So yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So no, I think many things came together on its own.
Right.
Like Charlie Chopra name came. Now I don't remember how Charlie Chopra name came, because I was looking for a ringing sound, the musicality that that if you hear a name you get attracted by this. So Charlie Chopra, and Charlie I have used so many times. So, there were brothers Guddu and Charlie. Then I made a song called
Oi Boy, Oi Boy,
Charlie.
Yes.
So I think somewhere in subconscious I am obsessed with this name Charlie.
Right.
So, and I was looking for a name of this detective, because as I told you, Emily, and there was, why I'm not remembering that name, the other name. And so they were not available. Then I thought that we'll find a new name. And that's how, the Charlie Chopra came. And that I was looking for the casting of this character, and Vamika also worked with me in the film I have made, Khofia,
right,
for Netflix. And she performed very well over there. And we made a very good rapport in that film. And she comes from Punjab, and she comes from Punjab film industry. She has done some Punjabi films also. And her, have you interviewed her or no?
Not yet.
Okay.
I will.
So, she's like as Punjabi as you can
She's
get.
actually done this Malayalam film called Goda, where she again plays a true bloodied Punjabi girl who travels all the way to Kerala. I had just gone to Kerala for a couple of stories.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, she has that. I think it was like
so
spot on.
In normal conversation, suddenly if her father will call or her brother will call, she will burst into a Punjabi. So she totally, and then she'll become normal. Right. So I observed her, while we were shooting, that she becomes a totally different character when she is speaking Punjabi.
Right.
So then, when I decided to cast her, at that time I took this call that whenever she will break the fourth wall,
right,
she will speak in Punjabi, and I needed that quirk in the character, where an extra element I needed.
Actually, I was coming to that, the breaking of the fourth wall, which happened so much. So, what was the thought behind adding that element?
I was looking for a device, a new device to engage the audience. So many times we use we use supers, we use voiceovers. And I remember the great actor Ian McKellen. When I first time I watched fourth wall being broken in cinema was he played Richard III, and he broke the fourth wall, and he's a great master. He did it so well, and it remained with me, that expression. So I decided to use the fourth wall because India में किसी ने किया नहीं था. And when I wrote this script, I watched Phoebe's Fleabag. And I was bowled over the way she has performed in that. And the challenge became for me that, that performance has to be, lifted to that. And that's where I think Punjabi and Vamika and Charlie Chopra, they all came together. And I wanted to be the first one to break the fourth wall.
So you've worked a lot of ensemble cast across your films, and I distinctly remember reading this interview from ages ago where you were talking about sometimes the struggles when you're working with stars, sometimes you're working with like a lot of people in one scene. So what was it like, especially when there's the scene where the lawyer has come in, and then there's a whole, like the fiance walks in, and then there's everybody's pointing fingers at everybody, and so you have this amazing cast. So what are the challenges and what are the perks of working with a cast like that?
Challenges, I mean, is like, they are not serious when they are all together.
Right.
So they have worked with each other for so many years. So they have their silent things going on in their expressions, and of course, the perk is that they are such great actors.
Right.
They know their lines when they have come so prepared. They ask you 100 questions, and they take your characters deeper than you have thought or written. So that's the great thing of working with a great actor. Neena Gupta has taken her characters so deep. So is like Chandan Rao, Sanyal or Lara Datta. They all were so good. Ratna Pathak Shah. That role was so sketchily written, I tell you, in a
Right.
script. And I was waiting to cast someone that I'll need the help of this actor to bring the backstory and the depth and some extra element. And Ratnaji did that. And then I wrote new scenes for Ratnaji. When Ratnaji decided to do that part, Naseer Bhai to khair, he's a great living legend.
Right.
Yeah.
But you got the entire family to come in this time.
Yeah, so what
Everybody's
happened?
talking.
Yeah, I tell you what happened. First, Naseer Bhai, I gave him the script,
Right.
and he said he wanted to play some other part. And I told him that Naseer Bhai ना बहुत गुस्सा हो जाते हैं सेट पे, बहुत गुस्सा होने की आदत है उनकी, बहुत जल्दी टेम्पर लूज करते हैं. एंड तो मैंने उन्हें बोला कि वो रोल बड़ा डिफिकल्ट था, स्नो में बहुत चलना था.
Oh.
मैंने बोला यू विल मेक माई लाइफ हेल नसीर भाई, you will be so irritated on set all the time. He says, why do you say that? Because it's physically so difficult. So why don't you choose this part, which is like in an air condition on set? You will be so, comfortable, and I'll be happy that you won't be screaming at me or my assistant and unnecessarily. Now we treat him like a kid, So Naseer Bhai is like, so that's how, Naseer Bhai came first. And then came Vivan. I had worked with Vivan actually in Sat Khoon Maaf. Then came Imad. And then, one day I thought, there's Ratnaji. I asked Ratnaji. So then Naseer Bhai called me and said ki only Hiba is left. So why don't you cast her also? And actually I did that. Very small part. It was very nice of Hiba. She's such a fine actor. I requested her, that all of you are there, like, all of your family members are there except you. So why don't you do this part? So we will make a history that in one show the whole Shah Parivar is there. So now the whole Shah family is there.
Interestingly, for some reason, it also, while you were saying, it reminded me of Schitt's Creek as well, where the entire family, in a way, except for the mother, Daniel Levy, and they all play in it, and it's such a master class in such doing amazing drama show. Coming back, I just want to know, what are your favorite? Shakespeare clearly, because you've done, and now I'm just curious to know more about some of the authors that you absolutely love.
Many. Ayn Rand, Fountainhead. I want to make Fountainhead. I want to make Atlas Shrugged. I think now I should approach this Ayn Rand society, estate, to let me
That would be amazing, I think.
Yeah, because the Dominic Franken, of course, जो lead character है उसमें जो architect है वो तो है ही, but Dominic Franken is my favorite character in that. I fell in love with Dominic Franken when I read The Fountain. I think I'm taking the right name because I read it I think it's the right name. So just check someone, yeah. So Fountainhead, Ayn Rand, Roald Dahl. This is my favorite. P.G. Woodhouse. I want to make P.G. Woodhouse. I want to make Premchand. I want to make Shivani. Shivani is my favorite writer.
Okay.
Premchand is my favorite writer. Then Agge, Mahashweta Devi. So this is बहुत लंबी list है.
Which is good to know because a lot of them are my personal favorites as well. Just the last, and it comes from very personal career. You have moved across landscapes to make your films and now web series. You know, Himachal ho gaya, even Bombay for Modern Love Bombay, you've done that. Kashmir, like you said. I'm just curious. Do you think at some point it'll also be Northeast?
I have done the work in Northeast. I want to go there more.
Yeah.
I did Rangoon in Northeast.
Yeah, I know.
We shot it in Arunachal. We shot in Assam also. But I want to place one because
Yeah, that's what I meant.
yeah, because in
One show.
Rangoon, you know, the army, they are the people, you know, people from outside were going to
Right.
there. But there was a character called Mema over there.
Yes.
He was from that area. But I want to do a whole story placed in Assam, and very soon I'll do that.
Very excited by it because, like I said, I'm from there, and I
Yeah.
think I would.
It's a lovely. People are so lovely over there. Their music, pihu. Everybody plays guitar. Every boy knows how to play guitar over there.
And make great food.
Yeah,
I
great
would say
food.
that.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think I would end on this note. I thank you so much, sir, for talking so much about literature and movies. I think the two things, and this is. I just wanted to say that this is also one of my dreams come true in this interview to be able to talk to him. I've been so excited. But do keep watching The Print. This is Tina Das with Mahira Khan. Thank you.
Thank you.